Am I you? Are you me? If you want to be in the truthful domain, you need to face truth. If you want to live in an illusion that looks nice but it's not real, your true self will be left behind. So it's a choice you make. I can feel it. Carry the
Hey, hello Harald.
Hi. What did you bring to solve today?
Well, actually the unconscious, where I was young at a younger age, where I was not fully conscious of me living, but then I was a child that somehow received a lot of pain and fear, and in that way I was the perpetrator to my brother, giving him what I was getting, and in that way I come to solve what I am not conscious of fully. When I was during my childhood, somewhere I'm talking to my mom, she's like, hey, you were very fearful. Then I talk to my grandma and grandpa, they're like fearful when I talk to them and I see the patterns, right? And yeah, it's just that I come to solve, really cracking up my heart chakra to unlock it and to feel the emotions or feel what needs to be felt in order for me to fully go forward in a heart way, in the heart chakra. I have lived my whole life without that. Was not empathic. You actually made me conscious more about that the last podcasts that I saw from you online, and now it's time to go in the different route, in the right route. Yes.
When you go back in your childhood, how far does your memory carry you, and from where on do you have like gaps and don't exactly know what happened? What is kind of the earliest memory, and from where on did you have continuous?
Well, when I remember, that was me having a crazy fight, and then I was so kind of not understood that I had to like run away from home, like I like run away, and well, then I was like at
what age?
I don't know, I think like before 5, 6.
And you actually did run away?
I was at the fence and then I go back because I'm not gonna run away, right? But she then's like, yeah, you go run away, and I'm like, I'm gonna run away, and then I run away, but just at the fence of where I was living, and then I came back afterwards, and I'm like, yeah. But these patterns, they repeated it multiple times, in the to the sense of then me having pain, a lot of pain that is unfelt or unexpressed or not understood, and then I had to like give it away or something, when, yeah, like you say, with the drama triangle, the perpetrator, and going forward from there.
I'm trying to find out to what degree your system took damage. Like, is it just an intense childish expression that did happen and everything is fine? Is it that something stayed unexpressed, kind of you started to hide your pain and could not express it at a certain point? I mean, shouting out loud and making a fuss is rather the expressive side. I would say there's no damage done to you when you do it that way. When you start to encapsulate your feelings and you do not express your pain, this is where the damage starts. in the form of trauma, unexpressed feelings. And the second option is you decided to not feel the thing anymore. This is when you start to create subconsciousness. This is soul split. You cut yourself into two, and whatever is related to pain or fear is excluded from your day consciousness. Or did it go to a degree where you completely dissociated and said part of your soul as a complex living entity said, I'm leaving this boy because I can't live in him, it's too painful, so I'd rather park myself in the astral instead of staying incarnated. And if this is happening in an early age, then we probably deal with archetypes that come in and replace you as a boy, if too much of your substance has left. So do you
What do you mean with archetypes?
Archetypes, if you dissociate in an attempt to initiate yourself at early age. Like running away would be, if you really do it, it's an attempt to initiate yourself into an adulthood, being self-responsible. And if you do that in an age where you can't be self-responsible, it will fail and you create a complete soul loss. Kind of the adult self is not capable of running the organism, so it goes out as a soul loss. And then nature says, oh, apparently this boy is not in a secured relationship with his parents. He tries to initiate too early, so we need a secondary biological program to enable him to grow up in a different way. Not by being safe and playing, but following the programs of an archetype that is kind of one and the same archetype for all living beings on the planet, for all humans, which gives you a different program of becoming an adult. And he comes in as a Janus-faced entity. It has two sides. One is the narcissist, the other one the people pleaser. And he brings you into codependencies between the two. Yeah. So you can play the narcissist role. You are the one who wins the battle, who decides what's happening, and someone is following you. Your wisdom, your orders, your directives, or you are the one to lose the battle, and then you stand under the one who won the battle, and you try to please him as the only concept to feel safe, because he's going to protect you as long as you fulfill his wishes. If you are aware of that behavior in your life, if you know the
I'm aware
pattern,
of that behavior and that pattern, yes.
okay, then I would expect that your attempts to run away actually caused a complete soul loss, of the little boy who tried to initiate himself by running away. Then you realize, there's nothing that can hold it, and then you give up, and then you dissociate. So the boy that came back was not you anymore. And then the archetype comes in and takes over the main control of your conflict behavior. If you have a peaceful period in between, you can still follow your heart if you do so. But as long as you are in conflict mode, for many young children it is 24/7 conflict mode.
I was very conflicted.
Yeah. Then it's 100% archetype.
Yeah.
So what did you live more? The controlling winner position or the people-pleasing loser? If you look into your relationships.
You mean like love relationships or just
Also,
people?
First it's the parents and brothers and sisters where those things are happening. Then it can be friends at school, you have hierarchies in the peer group. Then it can be in relationship, but also if you're an employee in a company. Wherever you have hierarchy, you see these patterns.
Yeah. Well, then I would say the narcissistic
So you
trait, but then later on more the people-pleasing trait, because then you realize the narcissistic trading life is just...
It's ugly.
It's ugly, yeah. It's very ugly, yeah. I had to realize that, yes.
Okay. There's... it's a little bit of explanation before you can start fixing things, but you need to understand the concept. There are actually 3 components that play a role in the substitution. The first thing is the SoulLos. We can easily identify it, kind of as of the moment when you try to run away. We can find that. We can find the SoulLos and call it back. This is one component. Second component is releasing the archetype. This is the easiest part. And the third component is actually a contribution by the satanic realm that brings in a certain type of archon. It's the Cthulhu, the Kraken demon, or archon. That is, in a way, because the Kraken has 9 brains. 1 brain in the head and 8 brains in the arms. So he is predestined as a biological concept to administer hierarchies. The boss has the brain of the head, and the followers have the brain of the arm. So if you see the Kraken act as an archon, the narcissist is carrying a Kraken in the belly area, and the arms of the Kraken are in the people pleasers, controlling them. And what it does bioenergetically for the narcissistic role, the head is completely absorbing the anger. So that the narcissist is experiencing himself as a loving being because he can't feel his own anger. And when somebody is not obeying his orders, is not following his wisdom, is not following the dogma he is representing, because this is what the narcissist does. He's importing the rules of society as a dogma, and then he declares himself being the police officer to push through this dogma as a rule. This is the role he's taking.
What do you mean with dogma? To push through it, like being a rebel, or
like for example, my ex was declared shaman with the wisdom, never heal someone without being contracted, and always in harmony with everything that lives. This is kind of the core knowledge of shamanic healing. Yeah, don't mess around with things you're not contracted for, and make sure that you don't hurt anyone that is not that is involved, but you need to basically respect the natural order. You can take that as wisdom. You can also kind of get hysteric whenever this rule is violated, only a little bit. Screaming around, calling me a bastard and nasty, devaluating me because I did not follow her rules. It's a different thing. You can have that wisdom and treat people respectfully. You can have that wisdom or that rule or that moral or ethic principle. And when someone else is violating your ethic principle, you're the one to freak out. This is crossing borders. It's not like a human normally would interact. Yeah, kind of. A normal human would say, yeah, there is this wisdom that says, but do what you want. This would be a normal warning to someone that is violating an ethic or moral rule. But starting to take control when someone is acting against your dogma and forcing him to obey your dogmatic mindset, this is narcissistic behavior. This is what a narcissist does, and it's kind of okay because he's playing with other people who had soul losses. So there's no human soul fully in power in the codependencies that are formed. So it's a good idea to import the external ruling into the empty space before you have like wild behavior. Kind of it's filling in the order of the society into a space that is by the archetype designed to provide a space for healing and growth and becoming adult in a different way.
When you're saying this, like I feel, for example, in my stomach that is always, be a problem, I guess.
Yeah,
like you said,
because you've got a guest down there.
What?
You've got a guest.
Yeah, I could
and what he is doing as a service is he is deleting your anger unless you have control over someone and this someone does not obey. And then you start to scream. This is typical narcissistic behavior. Because of you, stupid bastard, I need to scream again. You do not locate the reason for the screaming within your own emotionality. You directly project the guilt onto the one that is violating your rules. This is typical behavior in the narcissistic, when the Janus head, the archetype, is showing his winner face. When he's showing his loser face, then you have the people pleaser. The people pleaser has an arm of another narcissist in his solar plexus, and this arm is designed to delete the fear. Because the narcissist can give orders and command everyone and everything, but he can't do anything himself. The people pleaser can't command anyone, but he can do everything because he's completely fearless. Best picture is the soldier with a lieutenant giving commands. He's screaming, attack! The soldier is jumping out of the trench, running into the bullets, dying, because it's easier to die than to disobey an order. And this is because of the Kraken arm that is deleting the fear. Unless you start disobeying, when you dare to disobey, then the same arm is punishing you with the fear he has collected while he was basically running you in the controlled mode. And so he's managing, the Kraken arm is managing the fear, and the Kraken head is managing the anger. And by controlling these two core emotions, the entity is controlling the entire hierarchy. So the first step, now it's kind of coming to the protocol, how to fix it. The first step is to pull out the Kraken entities after taking responsibility for fear and anger. This is what they need to know. It's like every entity is just at service. It's not that they rule you, control you, that they are evil because they are satanic. They just do a job to help you to grow up in a different way. And when you make the statement, from today on I am willing and I'm deciding now that I will face my fear and transform it myself, face my anger and express it in a civilized way. If this is your decision, the entities can leave. They don't have a contract anymore then, and they don't have a will of their own to stay within you, because they've got nothing to do there. Done deal. So this is kind of the first step. Second step is to bring the SoulLos into position. And the third step would be to release the archetype back into the collective. This is the easiest part, is just one decision, one sentence, one affirmation. And then after the archetype is out, you can pull in the SoulLos. And the open brackets of this alternative way to grow up are closed. In for it?
I'm open. I'm in.
Okay.
Let's go for a win. Yeah.
Okay. So normally we start with the Kraken arms. So remember the relationships you have been in where you obeyed orders, where you were the people pleaser. And thinking of those relationships, you just check your solar plexus area with your hands, and you see if you can grab a Kraken arm there. And it's like the energetic hand and the physical hand become one, and you can kind of feel the resistance. If you grab something, it's as if you have physical contact. It's only there energetically. But it's possible to sense when you hold something. And when you try to pull, you feel the resistance that the arm is trying to still attach to you. And before you pull, take that decision. I'm taking responsibility for my own fear. Feeling it, transforming it into whatever it wants to be transformed into. Will, anger, creativity. And pull out.
I'm taking full responsibility for my fear.
Okay, and when you let it go, see if you can see the face to whom it relates.
It's like
any in your environment?
Yeah. No, there was.
There was.
Yeah.
Did you have that type of relationship into that direction?
Yeah.
See if you find more. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or more. See how many.
It was the last one.
The last one.
Relationship where I had to leave. You know, I had to. Unfortunately, no, not unfortunately, but yeah, I saw. I didn't see her face, but I saw face, and she was.
So it was a.
Yeah.
They're highly traumatized when you come from that continent.
Yeah, bro. She was pretty, but.
There's no space for judgment.
No.
It's like, you have the archetype, you're not better than her, because you can switch anytime. This is how we learned about it. I decided to get rid of all the narcissists in my life, so I ended up with a bunch of people pleasers. Bring them into one room, and it takes 5 minutes, and one of them is collapsing into the narcissist. Because 5 people pleasers in one room, nobody is taking responsibility, nobody is making decisions. You create a vacuum. And then someone needs basically to switch roles to take control of what's happening, because no one else is taking responsibility. And then again, you have a narcissist in the room. And this is how you learn that it's not an uncurable disease. It's a Janus head where you can switch at any time. So it doesn't make sense to judge a narcissist. It doesn't make sense to judge a people pleaser, because in the core it's one and the same. It's just swapped faces. Yeah? So that lady was just as much traumatized as you are. No space for being angry. It's just kind of a bracket that life is opening to give yourself an experience where you can come back to self-responsibility at the end of the day and face your trauma, face your pain, reintegrate your SoulLos. Okay, get the other arms out. See who else was in that position.
I choose to take full responsibility of my fear.
Recognized him?
No.
An older man?
Could be.
Something male in your family. I was not sure if grandpa or father.
It's
Okay.
it's hard to see the face. It's just, yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Can you say how many more?
Where I was the one doing the people please.
Yeah. You can tell both from your memory of your life, but you can also, if you have perception of the bioenergetic forms, you can just count the arms if you can feel them. It depends. It's different with people. Some have good perception on that level.
It's something I still can learn a lot from, taking the bioenergetic form and feeling that.
If you don't see them, just grab until you don't find anymore.
I'm taking full responsibility of my fear.
Okay, that one you pulled with anger. Interesting.
Could be my.
Okay, do we have more? More? One more? One more. I test it's one more. Yeah, one more.
Questioning who that is.
You will see.
I take full responsibility of my fear.
Ideas? I don't really know your family. I don't know your life story.
I'm questioning my or right now. I don't know.
First, your mom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
We all come from good families. Okay.
Feels lighter though.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, when you disobey, this is the experience you get this torture with fear, which feels completely unnatural because it's hitting your system like a laser beam. Normally, natural fear, when it appears, it's like looking a good horror movie. It's in the field, it's creeping through your aura. But this torture form of fear is pure pain in the solar plexus, and it's completely impossible when you are tortured with that. You cannot disobey. I've heard so ridiculous stories about people being in the people-pleasing positions, doing weird things for decades without an option to stop it. You know, like the worst one, he fell in love with an Italian woman. She said, I can't be with you because I'm the bride of a local mafia son. And you need to kill him to get me. And he killed that man, and he went to prison for 5 years. And then he came out again and was expecting his love to be his. And she just said, fuck you, you know. It was your decision to kill the man. And
Wow.
10 years later, he was still sending her 1,500 euros every month from his salary.
For what? To people please.
Yes, because he was caught in the people pleaser, and he was tortured by her kraken. He couldn't stop paying, and then we went into the story, and it turned out that this mafia guy was a good guy. She was the evil one. And she just played him because she wanted to whatever.
Yeah, just
Get the money from his family or whatever, as you know, the surviving bride. Complete weird behavior, what you sometimes get.
wow. Do you feel that there's still?
You played the narcissist as well, as you said. So we still have to take out a whole entity, but you don't just throw it away, because you are in full responsibility for that entity. So what you do is you can open your belly like a bird's cage. You gently take it out, taking responsibility for your anger, and then you visualize a column of light in front of you. And you release the entity into the light, allowing it to ascend.
And you don't feel that there are still tentacles right now?
I tested, it's okay. That was kind of
Okay.
all of it.
So, to fully summarize, I open the gate, I grab it out.
It's a symbolic gesture. Of course, there's no bird's cage, but
yeah, like a bird's cage, and then I
like.
light it up to the
You
light.
don't need to open, you can just go in with your hand. Normally when you make this decision, I'm releasing you, I'm taking responsibility for my anger, you're allowed to go. He will crawl on your hand, he might be kind of gently surround your wrist and give you a goodbye kiss with his...
But why do we not fully see it like this? Like you're saying, like for example, I took things and it's like I energetically feel it somehow.
Yeah, because it's invisible.
Yeah.
It's not materialized. It's a bioenergetic form. It's basically a light form where the light runs in closed loops, like the aura of the human. All the light is encapsulated in closed circles, in mutual annihilation, kind of two light beams going like that, annihilating each other, and everything that you get in physical terms, it's scalar potential eddy. Yeah, because if you have two longitudinal light waves that annihilate each other, you create a standing wave, which is a scalar wave. And if you have accumulated energy in scalar waves, you have a vortical structure, torus-like form of accumulated energy, which is the bioenergetic form that is expressing itself in form of a human body. It's the source field for the human body. But it can exist without the body. And those entities from the satanic realm, they are non-incarnating entities. They exist as a light form, but the light in the physical sense is annihilated. It's not in the visible realm, but with your third eye, you can see longitudinal waves. So whoever is clairvoyant, he is capable of seeing the entities. As a bioenergetic form, you can feel it when you touch it, because your own bioenergetics interact with the foreign bioenergetics. You can't have both fields at the same place unless you identify yourself with it. This is how they basically come into your system. They make an offer, and you identify with their offer. This is how you can have overlaying entities. The Kraken is him, and at the same time he is an integral part of your bioenergetics.
But they're not conscious.
They're fully conscious,
But they don't have a soul. Conscious.
they don't have an immortal soul in that sense. They're just temporary projections, comparable more to lower grade animals in the Gaia biosphere. But the purpose of their existence is to be reconnected to Source. This is what they all wait for. They are basically in this non-connected form for as long as they serve in the satanic realm. But when they are done with their job and you allow them to ascend in your light column, they get reconnected to Source and they earn their own soul, their own connection to the divine. So for him it's also a feast. You can't do it for the arms, because the main responsibility for the arms lies with the people who hold the head. And you can't take away their entity. It's their learning process. When they are done, they can release their entity. But with the one that is basically serving the narcissist in you, is in your responsibility, and you can release into the light. And at the same time, you free all the people that have served you. You give back basically the self-responsibility you have taken from them by controlling them.
I take full responsibility of my anger, and I release the Kraken.
Open the column of light in front of you. This is kind of
I
projection of your divine spark. Offering him your connection to the divine to ascend upwards.
I offer the Kraken, the connection to the divine, to ascend to Source.
Bye-bye. Yeah. At the beginning they were kind of scary. The longer you work in that realm, the cuter they get.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
it feels lighter. And it's fully true that what you say, how I lived.
Now the thing with fear, you might collide both with fear and anger in the coming days, because nobody is taking care of it anymore. With fear, the trick is to stand in it, not to move out, ignore it, or rescue yourself into some thought patterns. If you experience fear, stay in the feeling, find out what you're afraid of, and find a solution. And this is how you transform fear into creativity. Or if it's a confrontation with someone that you need to stand strong in, transform the fear into anger. And the anger is your friend. You know, if the other one is wrong, if he's just demanding the same creative space you demand, and you are kind of fighting for the same space to express yourself in, you can go into a battle with him. You know, compare yourself with him in that battle to see who is closer connected to his divine expression, who deserves to take that space. This is aggression, aggregere, to meet each other, to face each other. It's a face-off.
In the name of light, then, or not?
In the name of the divine, yes.
Yeah, in the name
Yes.
to make a conclusion or a...
And then your fear transforms into aggression. And you can use the vital force to make your life. So fear is always just kind of the initial form of the solar plexus related energy that wants to be transformed. You just need to find the correct solution. Is it will? Is it anger? Is it creativity? One of the three will do the job. So there's no need to fear the fear, because it's your fuel. Yeah? This is how you take it in. And sometimes fear comes as a warning to not do something, then you'd better listen to it. If you don't find a creative solution, or if you see if I go into a battle I will lose, and it's no good point losing against that one, yeah, you'd better move away and fight somewhere else, or get creative
Or run away,
else,
yeah.
or run away. Sometimes it's the only possible solution.
Yeah, not
Yeah?
get your ass
Pick
kicked,
your battles.
or to you know, close relationships because of anger, or you know, like find some common ground, or
And with anger, it's in principle also easy. When you get triggered, when you get angry without deciding to be angry, you can be sure that someone is triggering you, that you are actually angry with yourself, because you do the exact same bullshit as the one who triggers you.
yeah.
Yeah, you can be 100% sure that this is the case if you have that uncontrolled evolvement of anger within you that takes you by surprise. Ah! How dare you? You know, he dares because he's mirroring what you do wrong in your own life. And the only way to properly deal with it is take one step back, realize, okay, I'm triggered by that one. Go into a quick analysis. Where do I do the same bullshit? Go to the cause of why do I do this bullshit? Heal the cause, and then you can go back to the other one, and you use him as a testing field. Am I still triggered? And if you're not triggered anymore, you go like, hey bro, I've been there. Yeah? I know how you feel. And you're in unconditional love at that point. And the anger is just gone. This is kind of the trigger anger and how to deal with it. Don't fall for it. Don't go into aggression when you're triggered. Learn your lesson, fix yourself, and then go back to get tested. The other way around, if you see someone that is completely losing the perception of the divine order, that is just freaking out and hurting innocent people.
And you see that.
And you see that. Then you can step in with your feeling of your perception of the divine order. And you can call him to order and add that energy of anger to your voice. You go like, how dare you! Yeah? It's a fully conscious activation of the solar plexus chakra, adding the energy of your solar plexus in anger to your voice. You're opening your system. And it doesn't even need to be anger. The most beautiful form I've seen was the capoeira teacher of my kids in Berlin. Imagine a tiny little girl, 40 kilograms, fighting weight, with a voice like a chainsaw, very high-pitched, but carrying through the sport hall. And she was controlling 60 kids in the worst quarters of Berlin in capoeira fighting training. It always took like 3 minutes until they completely freaked out and started to hurt each other in the training, although it's contact-free combat. Yeah? There was no contact-free after 3 minutes. They started to beat each other. Souls out. And she was observing the kids, realizing, okay, now it's getting close to the dangerous zone. And she went like, hey!
They're all looking like...
And everyone went like, tiny little person with such a good connection to her anger. It wasn't even angry. It was just a pure call to order. Yeah? This is the beauty in the feeling. So if you learn to distinguish the being triggered from taking the decision to apply anger for the sake of everyone in the room, you're fine. Mm-hmm. This is how you take responsibility. Yeah? Applying it when it's needed and pulling back when you're just triggered. Not going into projection, Not blaming the other for something that you need to clean in your own garden. Yeah? This is how you take responsibility. And then you're fine. Then entities will completely be happy with their decision to have left. Okay, next step. We need to exactly localize the SoulLos that invited the archetype in. Just let's try it the easier way. Call in the SoulLos and see if you can perceive him in his age. If you can address exactly the one responsible for the archetype to come in. Maybe
So the person making me have the SoulLos.
No. You imagine the little boy you were back then that stepped out of you. He's present in the astral realm. He's the younger version of you. He looks like you in his age when he left. They stopped growing when they leave. And you just take the decision to call in the one that basically left when the archetype came in. You can have multiple SoulLoses in a childhood, but one single SoulLos is the one that counts for the archetype.
And to get all back, no.
We can get the other ones back later if there are more. But to get this protocol to completion, we need the one that is related to the archetype. So take that decision to call exactly that one in. And if you have a visual of what age that was, maybe you can relate the situation to it.
I can relate the situation, but not the age.
Okay.
I would say 7.
Okay, that late. Good. It's good because you need to ask him if he's willing to come home.
Are you willing to come home?
Do not take him in yet. Before he can really return into your chest, you need to empty the space from the archetype.
And how do I do that? Empty the space for...
Is he okay with coming home?
I think so, yes.
He looked pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Like in German you say a little bit altklug, like playing a mode that is a little bit above his age.
You're completely correct, Mr. Harald, yes.
You remember that face? Yeah, cute one.
Yeah.
Okay. But he will be okay to be integrated.
Yeah, he will be okay.
Okay. And then the easiest part is actually sending away the archetype because he's just in service. He has no wish.
It's not the octopus, the Cthulhu.
No,
it's just an archetype from...
The archetype is, they come in from the crown chakra, completely filling the entire space of your body. And they have that Janus head, kind of that can turn back and forth. And when it's leaving through the crown chakra, you feel a narrowness in your neck and a tickling under your head from inside when it leaves. And the decision to make it leave, it's a very simple affirmation that states exactly what it means. It's I disentangle from the Janus-faced, narcissist, people-pleaser archetype and send him back to the collective. Visivik, what you see is what you get, or what you say is what you get. Disentangle is because you're fully identified and you need to separate the archetype from your own bioenergetics. Disentangling is the quantum mechanic expression. It's the most precise wording you can take. So you disentangle
from the Janus-faced, people-pleaser, narcissistic archetype
and send
it back to the light.
To the light, to the collective.
To the collective.
Because he's not going to source, it's not a being that needs to reincarnate. He's just a service by the collective field.
I disentangle from the Janus-faced, people-pleaser, narcissistic archetype, and I send it back fully to the collective.
Might take like half a minute until it's fully out.
I disentangle.
It's okay, you don't need to repeat,
Okay.
it's running. I can feel it tickling, compassion-wise. It's running, process is running. And okay, it feels like out. Gone. Could you feel the upward movement?
Here.
It's mostly narrow in the neck and in the head. Don't feel much in the body itself.
And you feel it like compassion-wise happening all.
Yeah, when I work with people, it's like I'm completely empty, I'm not present in myself. Just give my body as a reflective, resonant shape, so I have a reflection of what's happening in you, in me. So if I feel anything, I know it's you, because I don't play a role in this moment. I don't have feelings of my own, so
Okay.
this is why you can only work if you're completely relaxed with your private life. If you have stress with your girlfriend or your wife or whatever, you have your own topics running, then it's becoming hard to distinguish what is my feeling, what is the feeling of others. So normally when I work, I'm completely fine with my life.
Okay.
I empty myself then.
So now the archetype is gone.
Archetype is gone, and the best, most secure way to properly integrate the soul loss. You perceive him in this room where he's standing in front of you. Most of them come in like at 2 o'clock.
So this 2 o'clock.
Yeah, mostly, but you have your perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at 2 o'clock, is
Yeah,
he? I don't know why it's that angle, but this is mostly the angle. And what you do is you perceive his presence and you feel into yourself and you find the divine spark in your heart. It's like a dancing, bright shining firefly. Vibrational pattern. And out of that spark you project a golden or whitish thread shooting out of your heart, entering exactly his heart chakra. So you shoot your unconditional love.
like this.
Whatever it takes. Some do it quietly, some do it with a little bit more theater. Important is that your spark is active and that your spark is really supplying him with the love he would have needed, because this is a 4D process. You are vibrationally on a higher plane than him, because once he goes into the state of a soul loss, he is slowly losing energy because he's not connected to your body anymore. So he should be rather low vibrant. And now you supply him with energy. And when he is fully charged with your life force, with your love, then this golden thread will fly back to you. And then you have a circular connection. This is already a unified heart chakra, just on distance. And when this connection is strengthened more and more and more, you will feel it pulling in. And when you feel this pulling feeling of reducing distance between him and you automatically, then you can breathe him in easily. Just take one deep breath, pull him into your chest, and check where he wants to go. Is he settling downwards into your solar plexus, or is he settling upwards to be centered around your throat chakra? Downwards. Okay, then he directly goes into the initiated position. This is good. That's the complete protocol. And now you can check yourself. Think about disobeying to the people who you have been pleasing. And check if you are still tortured by fear when you think about disobeying.
Like it right now, or
Yeah. Test yourself. Normally, if you should still have that structure in you, and you think about, let's say, disobeying, telling your mom, fuck off, I've got enough of you. Think about the option saying this, and if you're instantly hit by a wave of fear, then something went wrong with our process. If you can think that without being addressed by anything external, doesn't mean that you need to go to your mom and tell her fuck off. You can do more loving things with her if you decide so. But just test yourself if you're capable of disobeying.
yes,
No punishment.
no, I'm capable.
You're capable.
Yeah, I even did it like yesterday, and I'm like, yeah. But now it's a different situation because we're going through a process of even in integrating it all. Yes.
Yeah. If you already were there that you could disobey, it's in any case it's about time to complete the healing process.
Yes.
Yeah, because you already learned your lesson to come into self-responsibility. This is the alternative way. You go under the control of someone, and then you use this someone to grow strong until you can say, fuck you, I'm disobeying. This is kind of the secondary initiation. Yeah? So if you've been there, it was more than time to solve the archetype topic and to get rid of the contribution of the satanic realm, because they don't, at the end of the day, they don't make it easier to quit the cycle. Okay, that was high precision protocol work, kind of taking it from the book, kind of. No, sometimes if you make a process, you get lots of individual things that are not so typical in between. Like one of the Kraken arms, sometimes it's not sticking in from the front, it's sticking in from the back. You try to pull it, it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Then you have black magic in your bloodline, and someone of your ancestors was putting a spell on the entire family line, controlling his descendants. Then you need to go into family constellation work, to find that ancestor and solve the problem at the point where it started.
And do you feel that this is the case here?
No. You could easily pull them, so this is a one lifetime problem that could be solved within that lifetime.
How would I then get back to the emotional memory of my previous lifetimes? Or maybe is this my first lifetime? I don't know.
You don't look like. You just take the decision first, and second, you go one step backwards. And then you come into your lifetime. This is how you move in the room. Going backwards is always backwards in time, and taking a step is stepping into a different. Actually, it's as you decided.
Like right now.
Right now, you could take the decision with one step, I go into my previous life.
With one step, I go to my previous life.
Oh. Completely different person. Do you feel it?
I don't know actually.
Try to focus on what has changed. Of course, you still sit in your body. The body is the same. But what hit me was actually a wave of fearful belief with a very religious self-confidence, like finding your stability in belief. Does it
And then living fearfully actually.
actually underneath?
And this is how I was born.
Okay, this is how it started.
Yeah.
This is typical, that you continue your journey at the point where you basically stopped it before.
Okay.
Okay. Want to get to know your family in that life?
Yeah.
Do you see anyone? Kind of, can you feel relationships from the point where you stand? You had a in that lifetime.
Yeah. Well, no. It's like I could be victimized by him in that lifetime.
Bring him into the field. Let's see if it turns out to be a realistic scenario. Who wants to be If you victimized him, probably
Hi.
you think it's a karmic revenge. That in this lifetime, is he the same? Can you feel he's the same brother you have in this lifetime? Or is it someone else? Is it just karmic, or is it a tit for toe?
I think so.
Same one.
Yeah, it's karmic.
It's karmic. Karmic, another soul, or karmic, the same soul?
The same.
Same soul. Do you have a perception of being in a different lifetime? Can you find into the role?
I feel something glowing, but I can't put a point to it.
Take baby steps back into your shared childhood to see where and how the victimization. Maybe we can put the parents in the field as well.
Would it be the same parents that I have right now?
Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
We've got a father volunteering. Do we have a mother that is willing to show herself as a representative? Anyone that is not shy in front of the camera?
Yes, so I'm male, but
Other side. Unless you exactly feel that as a woman you took the active role.
what?
Unless you feel that as a woman you took the active role, the dominant role, then the other side was correct. If you
And
stand,
I felt some passing by. Her. Sorry, mommy.
okay, so that would be the family system. Are you comfortable at the places you stand? Because disorder is always felt as not standing in the order. Like you stand now is the perfect order. Does anyone feels pulled to a different place?
I feel a presence behind me.
Okay, your father in that
Pressure,
lifetime is looking somewhere completely else. He doesn't feel like being in the game. Look at him. Okay, so you have a non-present father. And the two of you, who is the older one?
I was the younger in the previous life.
You were the older one. Did you replace the non-present brother, taking the responsibility of the father?
That feels...
Yeah, maybe to you, but not
No.
to mommy.
What did you feel?
I still feel the pressure behind me.
So you're forwarding the pressure of the father.
I felt it when she passed.
Oh, from mom.
Yeah,
So
from
she's
mom, yeah.
she's abusive.
And I still feel the pressure. Do you feel it?
The dad is going away.
Dad is not looking at you.
Yeah.
He's out of the game. And
Yes.
mom,
The pressure in your back.
and mom is putting pressure on your brother.
Yeah.
What type of pressure is it? Is it the typical abusive pattern, putting the boy in the position of the partner?
It's like a tingling, zigzag feeling through my body.
Okay. Mommy,
Mommy.
do you feel responsibility on that end?
I didn't understand. I did what?
Kind of pushing out the father, not having a proper relationship to the man,
Yeah.
but instead pushing responsibility onto one of your boys.
I think I'm not really here. I have a more religious thing with God.
Ah, okay, so this is why the sexuality is
There is a family maybe, but
Is it? Are you really honest and strict with your religious belief, or do you have this double standards of being religious in
no, I'm
church
not
and when you
honest.
talk?
I'm not honest.
You're not honest. So there is something sexual with your older son?
No,
No?
I don't think.
You say you're not honest, and you say no.
I'm not honest with my belief.
You're not honest,
Yeah.
but there's no abusive pattern sexually, just emotionally a little bit. Just look into his direction and you will feel how what he was for you.
Yes, there is something.
There's something, attraction.
Yeah. It's a kind of substitute role,
Yeah.
but not really sexual. Although not in.
You didn't put it to practice, it's
Yeah.
just the emotional abuse derived from the broken relationship pattern. Yeah. That's quite typical for religious families.
And then why should I have a bad feeling about it?
Because you're abused, you're emotionally abused.
Yeah.
You play a role that is not supposed to be yours. You're supposed to be a child and play and experience yourself on an experimental battlefield to see how can I become a man. Instead, you're not allowed to play and you're forced into a role that is mimicking an adult that should be your father, but he's not there. So you don't have someone to orient yourself from. You don't have a role model because he's not there but you have to fulfill all her needs as a partner. This is tremendous pressure for a boy.
And then that comes to me.
And that comes to you. And in this lifetime, it was payback time. So you showed him how it felt like.
Well, he's still traumatized by it, actually. Right, well, you will not take responsibility for it at the moment. But then...
It's
we'll
his karmic lesson. He needs to find his will to solve it. You can tell him, bro, I'm not there anymore. You can relax. Yeah? But that's all you can do. You can't force him into working on it. He will take his decisions when time is ripe.
Makes sense.
Harald, I'd like to add 2 observations, if you will. Number 1, there's an arm coming from behind, octopus arm coming from behind. And another observation, there's about a 4-year-old kid standing right in front of you, little left center, and he's hopping up and down, and he wants to be seen.
So was it a child?
4
or
kids.
No.
One
kid,
4-year-old.
4 years old, and he actually appeared when the question arose, has there been a soul split? So, in my observation, there actually appears to be a younger one too.
So
Where my soul has been split.
yeah, a soul loss from that lifetime.
This lifetime, that lifetime, okay.
The one you're standing in.
Okay, the one I'm
The
standing in.
previous one.
Okay.
So you have to integrate a soul loss, or you can integrate a soul loss from a previous lifetime. Can you feel this little boy, 4 years old? Maybe something happened when your brother mistreated you?
It's just so unconscious, but I can feel it.
It's kind of the same procedure as in the previous process.
And the octopus orb?
We'll take care of that later. Good one. Okay. Okay. Sabine says there's a generational kraken entering your system from behind.
Here,
Yeah.
here.
Can you see it?
Yourself.
No, don't pull yet. This is something you need to be careful with because you did not cause that. Can you feel where it comes from? Does it come from the maternal line or from the father line? Is it from your mom or from your dad?
For my dad.
Although he's so broken, he's playing kraken arms. Interesting. Stefan, did you place it or does it enter your system as well?
Entered my system.
Okay. So we need to check where it's derived from. I'm going into a double role. I will take the one who set it. Okay? This might be many generations backwards. We don't know exactly. And you see, this is four generations behind this dad. Yes, and I'm playing you all. Okay. The next thing to find out, am I you? Are you me? Fucking hell. It's brilliant, it's marvelous because you can solve it. Not from there, but from here.
How to?
Let's swap. This is an even more previous lifetime where you started the fucking business with a Kraken arm that goes transgenerational. Yeah?
Okay.
Try to picture that lifetime. Normally, what you do is you found a dynasty, and you want to make sure that all your descendants, your sons and your grandsons, that they are under your control and that they maintain the power of the family in place. This is normally the brewing situation where...
Just like I have a child right now, maybe. Or does that have to have anything to do with that?
Not
Well, no, coming. My wife is pregnant.
She's pregnant?
Yeah.
It will, if you don't solve it there, it probably will hit your son as well, because this goes through.
It's a daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, your daughter. But anyway, just check that lifetime and see why you did that spell on your own descendants. Was it to ensure the power of the family, the wealth of the family?
Yeah.
Did you hire a black magician to do it? Or did you train yourself in dark arts? Because this is always black magic applied knowledge.
I don't know.
Ask yourself. Were you trained? Or did you hire someone?
I hired someone.
You hired, yeah, this is what I see. I see you basically busy with books, as if you're running a company. Now look at him. If this is what you want for your family,
No.
then undo it. Release it. You have it yourself, you have it in your back. So now this is karmic, this is beautiful karma and the best way to be experienced. You did something and now you suffer the consequences in your own family now. If this is what you want, you can leave it like that. If you say, no, this is not what I want for my descendants and myself.
This is not what I want for my descendants and myself. I want to clear it out and take full responsibility and clear it.
Then send that Kraken into the light. You should be in your system now because you carry the head. You do the same as with the...
I feel it like here.
Yeah, take him out, it's a big one. Send him out to the light. Stefan, experiencing relief?
A little bit.
Beautiful. Danke, Sabine. Thanks, Sabine.
You're welcome. The kid is still around.
Hmm?
The kid is still around.
The kid, okay. But that was from here. Come back into this position. Integration of the kid was too early. I don't know if he was out because of the crowd.
The kid of 4 years is still here.
Still around. Maybe we need some communication. Can someone take the role of the kid to see what his desire is?
4 years.
Which lifetime are we talking about? The current lifetime?
No, the one before.
The
Previous.
Exactly one before.
It's not your observation.
No.
It's this lifetime.
Yes.
So my kid then, or
No, the SoulLos.
me as a kid at 4 years.
Current lifetime.
At 4 years.
Yes.
Yes, an earlier, not the one responsible for the archetype, an earlier one. That is a simple SoulLos that did not trigger an initiation.
And then he should stand forward.
We can turn out of the roads. Family business is done.
Thanks, Mo.
May I just say,
Yes. You can stay.
So,
Can you remember something from age 4 in this lifetime?
this is the tricky part about it. It's so unconscious. I don't at the moment.
Adi, do you have useful memory in the role? What happened?
I just try to get myself into.
I just feel left behind. Could it be?
I was a jumping boy. Yes. I feel like lots of action in me.
Unbelievable.
A bit nervous.
You feel nervous?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nervous and jumping.
Did you get lost? Did you get lost? Like,
Yeah, that's why I'm nervous, because I felt.
I feel, I don't remember, but I feel that I was left behind or something, or got lost, or got like running, but very nervous. Where are my parents, or where is someone?
would be a typical situation.
Yeah, I get lost somehow.
And this is also trauma that was restaged during later lives. Ages, yes. Yeah.
I very much remember the quality of feeling. I remember being with my mom in a warehouse, and I was 100% sure that I'm walking at her side. And I look at things and walk and look at things, and my mom is at my side. And at a certain point, I grab a hand and I realize this is not mom. I followed the wrong woman, and she didn't realize. I was like, in complete shock. My mom is gone. I went the wrong way. Now I'm lost. And for me as a child, that was such a terror. I immediately freaked out, started screaming the entire shop into bits and pieces.
I feel the same situation. Yeah.
I remember even the same situation, not with the mum, but I got lost in the warehouse, and it was awful because this warehouse was so big and I was so small and I didn't know where to go. And it's really
Feels relieving actually, but scary at that moment.
Okay.
So now we get that back.
Yeah, it's an easy one. There's not much to it. Just integrate it back into yourself. I bet the little boy is still in the warehouse and still didn't find his mum. So he will be happy to at least be back in you. You can tell him I don't need mommy anymore. I'm adult in any case. So. Coming back. Are they emptied?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm done.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Sorry, but I hate you. I hate you. I actually hate you. You deserted me. Nobody else did. You deserted me. I hate you. And stop mimicking. It makes me want to throw up. And I'm just about to lose it.
Oh, who's talking?
I am the kid. I am the kid you deserted. In
So-
this lifetime, if you wonder. So what are you trying to pull off here?
To
Despicable what you're doing.
feel, to heal, and to be real.
Well, that's just perfect. But not on my expense.
Actually,
Playing theater.
it is on the expense of the highest good.
Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to yourself. And I'm younger. And you deserted me. You left me. And you really piss me off with your playing theater. Okay, now you're looking at me. Thank you so much.
Sabine, what age?
2. Oh, please stop playing theater. Think. What time? What time? Is it day? Is it night time?
I actually am unconscious of your behavior right now, but I would say it's in the night.
Okay, that sounds quite nice. Now we're getting closer.
I could never sleep when I was young, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I need to sleep with my dad at that time. Maybe there was some type of entity fully controlling me or making me scared. I don't know.
Yucky, yucky entities. No. Who
Or-
was it? Who was it?
Making me scared.
Yes, you may say so. Who was it? You just said it.
Myself.
You left me behind. You deserted me. You wandered.
How would I leave you behind? To
Go back in the situation. You said you were scared. Whom were you scared of? Whom were you scared of? And why did you leave me behind?
it was some type of monster I think I saw.
A monster. Yeah, I may say that. A two-legged monster. Who was it? Think. Where's the emotion? Don't look at him, he's not gonna help you.
Trust her, she's good.
You have to help yourself. And if you help yourself, you won't leave me behind anymore. And then I just may be willing to come back to you. Play any games with me anymore? Go back to nighttime. What was going on?
Could it be that I had a dream of me being older?
No, go back to nighttime, just like you said, you mentioned it.
If you can't access memory, take the outer perspective. If you can't memorize internally, just zoom out of your body, go to H2 and look at the scenery from above. And look what happened in those nights.
It's my mom and my dad leaving me being alone.
A little bit more complicated. Just a tad more complicated. And yeah, you don't remember, you don't want to remember. And that's why you left me behind. That's why you shoved me into a corner and heaped all sorts of lies on top of me and left me behind. And you moved on. I accept your reason, yes, I do. But I'm pissed over the damn theater you're playing.
I feel what you're saying, or the experience I went through.
Try to visualize it from outside. Try to grab the picture.
It's just me taking over the emotional bullshit of my parents. And
Oh, it's much more nasty than that.
and me being left alone. Or
The only person who left anybody alone is you leaving me.
yeah, I let me leave there. So I command to come back. But what needs to happen to come back? What?
You really don't remember.
No, he doesn't. Do you want to bypass things and let someone else into the perceptive position to see if without the blockages you have set, it's possible to get a visual? I mean, I've got an idea, but I don't want to speculate. I think a perception is better.
Yeah.
Then we have kind of a double-blind perception. She knows, but she's not telling because she wants you to remember, which is a
That's the
good
only
gesture. And then we can have a second view on it by someone who is not blocked at that point. And then we can compare if it's exactly the same. Option. Allowing someone into your perceptive position, or do you want to try it again?
Could it be my brother birthing?
Why don't you let somebody else in and take an outside look? It might get a bit painful.
Can someone come in?
Someone feels entitled? I could do it. Give me your position. Step out.
It?
I can't breathe.
I don't get the visual. It's just that something is completely closing my... I'm constructing. It could be kind of, I'm a baby, I lie there, I scream. Mommy is completely close to a nervous breakdown. comes in and tries to choke me with a cushion. That is one possibility that would leave such a signature. The second thing I know that quite often happens that leaves such a signature is oral abuse by a male. One of the two.
What was the second option?
Oral abuse by a male. Because I got God for you.
But then it's not oral abuse.
If you have a willy in your throat, it is oral abuse. The only mistake is that you didn't take a bite. That's the only thing that helps.
I didn't even know what to say.
Okay, come back in. I'm stepping out to see if you can log in to the memory. Kind of, it's present in the room, and we still don't know who did it. Yeah?
Thank you for seeing me.
Okay. You're getting onto it. Can you feel it? That your system is picking up the trauma?
There's no drama this time.
You can feel it too. You can feel it.
Okay.
What do you need to do with it?
Maybe, Sabina, can you stand up and come closer to get an energetic exchange and contact? You need to know she might bring back the memory. This is what you split off, kind of a precise memory.
What feeling do you feel?
Scared.
Threatened. And?
Powerless.
What could be behind?
Anger.
Oh yes. What did you want to do with a son of a bitch? And you rather shove me off. Do you remember? You were really there. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Good. No theater. No drama. Who is it? Who is it? I leave this scene to you. Now or never. I leave the scene to you. That's hate.
What is the dominant feeling now? Look.
Yeah, look. For the first time in your life for years. Look what it was. It's for you to solve it. I'm out of it. You're gonna master it. I know it. I trust you for the first time in my life. I leave it to you. Oh yeah, you're sweating. Don't smile.
It's not to smile.
He's turned around too. Okay, I'm out of it. Your chance. Your opportunity.
Is there shame in your system?
Breathe it in. Yes.
Shame could be a mix from sadness, fear, and anger.
There's something in your back you don't want to see. Yes, in your back. Yeah, in your back, somewhere here. I don't want to see.
You don't want to see.
You don't want to see.
Why not?
I know, because there's too much fear to see. That's what Sabina said as well. I can feel Sabina and I can feel her connection to your fear, which you are not able to see in the moment. But there is something and I can see it, but I can't tell you what it is. You have to tell it yourself. You have to feel it yourself. You have to find it yourself. Take a deep look. That's about your grandma you just told us.
You have to answer that for yourself.
You have to answer this. Nobody can answer it.
You may want to place her in the field.
Maybe there's another option to get closer to the answer. Distinguish between who is innocent and whom do you not dare to blame. Try to get this distinction in your perception. If someone is innocent, you know he's innocent. If there's someone you don't dare to blame, he's probably not. But he still has power over you.
Yes.
Absolutely, I can feel it too.
I feel also crazy part is that it's like not able to go flow through it or something. I feel it. I feel shame. I feel left behind. I feel anger, like you told me.
The
feels forbidden to get into it. So it's something which was forbidden for you.
Sometimes things come with the threat of death. If you ever talk to anyone, this is going to be your last day of your life. Yeah? What do you mean? If abuse comes with the threat of death, there's no way to go back into it because your subconsciousness says, if I go there, I die. This is programming.
A secret.
So, I don't know how it was made, but you have difficulties to access the memory. Either because you are still under control, active control, or you're so much in love with a fake picture, you add it on top to feel safe, that you're afraid that if you let go of the fake picture, then your entire harmonic life is going down the hill, being completely destroyed, and you wake up in a nightmare you don't want to be in. But this is kind of the choice. If you want to be in the truthful domain, you need to face truth. If you want to live in an illusion that looks nice but it's not real, your true self will be left behind. So it's a choice you make. Can be only one or the other.
Well, I choose to fully be authentic. And
This comes with the price of knowing who did it and who did what. And it's not kind of, the entire trauma quality is in the space. I don't get the who as well. It's not revealing itself to this point. I don't know if Sabine would have the answer. If she has it, she has a no-go to tell you, because this is important.
do you want to tell who was it?
I can't.
You can't. Why not?
No, because your soul is not
You
revealing
don't
it.
want me to.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, your soul, your higher self, is running this entire setup. There is no information in the field that your higher self did not send to be seen. Yeah? This is what happens if you work with people who are well trained and who do not do it for show-off egoistic reasons. And it's just transferring the knowledge from your higher self into the space for you to deal with as deep and as far as you can deal with it.
I mean, this is what I was telling, that some things happened when I was young that made me have intense amounts of pain, but I'm unconscious of what fully happened.
Yes. Now you're standing in front of it. And the entirety of your system is taking the decision, am I capable of handling it right now? Or is it too early for me to handle the full truth? If your system is revealing the memory now, it's good. And apparently you have the strength to deal with it. What I can tell is it felt like either being choked with a cushion or being sexually abused. Apparently. And with the male, you know who had access. Definitely your father had access. He would be the first suspect. Yeah? But I don't know how the family constellation. Maybe your grandfather had access, maybe a neighbor had access. Maybe your parents gave you for babysitting with a neighbor, or with a close relative, an uncle. I don't know.
I can feel it.
You know him. Okay, there we go. That's it. Okay. Take it from there. The hardest part is done. Now it's just about expressing what was not expressed when you was a child. The SoulLos is already in you. Now it's all about the expression. Whatever comes, just let it flow, let it out. Allow yourself to be carried away. Yeah, go for it. It's okay. It's okay. Anger is welcome. Anger is welcome. Pain is welcome. Go deeper. It's okay. Go deeper. One more level to go down. One more level. It's okay. It's okay. It's what it is.
I feel like fully powerless, fully smacked. I was even lost on the conscious level to fully experience it or something.
Okay. Your memory is back?
It's my granddad.
Father's side or mother's side?
I don't believe actually me saying that, but
Trust it.
Trust yourself.
Who cares?
Who cares?
So,
Your emotional reactions are 100% spot on. Trust yourself. %70 have that in their life. Some form of sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse is I don't know, 90%. It's just not talked about. So. And Belgium is the headquarter of this dark art in Europe. And it's coming the same one that had the ritually set kraken. So this is normally it's a generational thing. If you have 5 generations back, the real practice black art, it's very likely that you will have.
May I say something?
Yes.
When you explained the power from behind, from the generation, it reminded me of something that I experienced 2 weeks ago. How strong the force is to keep the bloodline, in my case, safe and to continue. It makes it really hard to leave. The pressure is, you cannot see it, but I realized, wow, because I will stop it. That will be all shit that happened in the past.
Yeah. Now you can block it.
Yes.
Without acknowledging what had happened, you would have run into a restaging reflex with your own child. Not capable of controlling. With the same power, like it was hard to cut through into the memory. Kind of the same power would have been working on the restaging. So you can now welcome your daughter with freedom.
Yes. It's a great gift.
Because if anything comes up as a visual, as a picture, you can relate it to your own trauma. And then the impulse of restaging it is not there. Yeah, so, beautiful gift.
Yes, okay.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Feel right, it's a bit weird, but I feel okay with it.
You're entitled to feel weird.
And the beauty with the memory is you can go to a memory when you decide so. If you have a trauma, the trauma is sitting in your neck 24/7, waiting for every opportunity to restate itself and make itself visible. And you don't have a choice.
But why was it so hard to restage again?
It is. You're really lucky, because for me it's really hard and difficult. I still have to cope with it, to go that far that you went today.
I understand you and your wife are expecting a child, is that true? This is a gift to you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. This was just in time. My heartfelt congrats and love on the deepest level to you. For a deep, well done. Wonderful job. Integrate yourself and allow yourself the time to integrate everything. Your body will speak to you. You might feel tremor. You might feel pain, right? That is your body integrating everything. It is not just the psyche, it's pure energy. You're doing so well. Be proud of yourself. I love you. We love you.
That was Sabine talking.
That's the one.
Okay. Okay. But the Soulsplit is back home. Okay, good. Okay. No, we have a process on camera. And you can see how the easygoing stuff can be. And when it comes kind of to the emotional burdens, there's no way around getting into real expression. Just integrating the soul loss or replacing an archetype by a soul loss. This is all, it's not very deep. You just need to know how to do it, and you can even do it with the limited resources, like having so deep trauma somewhere expelled. But when it comes to the deep stuff, it goes through the deep valley of expression. And I'm happy for you that it's so you don't have too much trouble in your family when you go back home. A bit scared that it's your dad, because then you throw yourself into active conflicts, because then there's a need to solve the issue, possibly with people who deny what was.
But maybe some of the people in the family know what?
Maybe some of them know. You can ask. You can ask your dad if he suffered from the same
I
treatment.
remember.
You started with everybody saying you're so beautiful, remember?
Oh.
I wonder in the future you will discover more. But you have good places to integrate it, because your eyes now are open. They don't fade anymore.
It's a little bit of journey left. Possibly memories coming back of more details. But the most complicated part, opening the perception to the memories, is done.
It looks like I'm tripping.
You will see yourself on camera afterwards. Reflect on how, 4 times, reflect on how more authentic your expression is now than before.
Then you put it out.
Yeah. This is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can even go a little bit deeper in your voice now.
Yes. Like
Try.
in the stomach.
Heart, first heart. Stomach only for angle. But you have this different. You can talk from the head.
Yeah, I can talk from the head.
Talk from the head. You can control your throat from your head.
Yes.
Then it's rather a sharp tone.
Yes, I can do it like that.
You can do that.
Yes.
But moving through your heart is a different tone.
And talking from the heart.
Talking from the heart turns warm. Sharpness is completely out. And once you're here, then, only then you can utilize anger.
What do you mean with here?
In your heart.
Here.
In your heart.
Like listening to the heart.
When you're here, when you're centered around your heart. Putting the hand there always helps to center you.
And to also talk from the heart.
Yeah.
That helps.
In German you say, if you want to express to someone, I'm not lying, I'm truthful, you say Hand aufs Herz. Hand on my heart. This is the truth, because when you put your hand here, you speak from your heart. And when you speak from your heart, you actually can't lie. When you try to lie, it jumps up. Because only the head can control your body telling a lie. So this is always helping. And once you're anchored here, from there you can utilize your lower chakras to express whatever you want to express. Desire, anger, will. From here you control the lower emotions. Consciously deciding to express yourself in their quality.
To gain an outcome. Or to
gain an outcome or to express yourself.
Like your creativity is also here, for example, huh?
Yeah. Creativity is not actually giving a sound. Anger. Anger! Yeah.
Anger!
Anger is giving a sound. Will is giving a specific. Will. I want. It's stronger than the heart. It's not angry, but stronger than the heart. Fear is giving a sound. If I'm scared, it's here. It's here. It's kind of a little bit weeny, beany, but it's here. And this is all conscious expression, once you have conquered this space. And you can basically observe yourself day in and day out, how you sound, how you perceive your own voice. And when you perceive a mispresentation, when you perceive kind of yourself being in the head or being squeezed here. Or
mostly here.
Turn yourself back into the heart space.
So be more calm like you all the time. I respect you, admire you for that. Like you always have that.
No, I don't. Actually, when I talk to someone that is head-centered, my natural reflex is to be head-centered as well, because I mirror. This is my reflex. Only when I consciously decide, I have to show him that there are other possibilities to be mental. But then I can choose to place myself in the heart. So I'm not there 24/7 because most of the people are not there.
It's coming back. Great.
And just listening to your own voice is a big teacher. Because you can exactly at every point say, where are you centered? Where is the felt midpoint of your beingness? And where does the sound come from in your body? And being in the heart is the calm expression of being in a holistic mode. From there you take choices. If your heart wants to sing, then you utilize your throat from the heart. When you want to explain mathematical equations, you can utilize your throat from your head. It's okay. It's an option. Because it's the brain that is giving the input. If you want to express anger, the heart is controlling the solar plexus. If you're out of control, if you're like traumatized and your anger is controlling you, the anger will control the throat without you getting in between. And then you sound like Goebbels. You sound like bring mir die Ausgewiesene, halt, it's right! It's like the Goebbels. It's the broken sound. You have low frequencies mixed with high frequencies, and the middle part is missing. This is the uncontrolled anger, how it is expressing itself. If you go into the mostly entity controlled mode. I wouldn't be scared of that because we took them out. But this is when the lower chakras take over control because
This is how I lived my entire 17 years after these traumatic events.
Overlap with overlap with overlap with safety guards.
no need for that anymore. Okay.
Is everything for process done, or? You want some more?
No, normally it's not everything. But it's enough for today.
It's enough for today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.